Welcome to the Super Expander podcast. My name is Corrine Phelps, your host. I'm a business and growth coach, money mindset expert, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. My journey has taken me all over, from working in finance to owning a boutique fitness studio. I found myself burnt out, miserable, and questioning everything. Saying things to myself like, there's got to be more to life than this. Refusing to settle for a mediocre existence, I went all in, learning how to harness untapped potential and rewire the subconscious mind to create an extraordinary life. The last 10 years have been a crash course in self-love, building a business, creating community, building wealth, and doing what it takes to just freaking go for it. My mission is to help you align to your purpose, rewire your subconscious to support your big dreams and vision, and create a life that you're absolutely obsessed with. So sit back, tune in, and prepare to expand. Hello, Super Expanders. How are you doing? How are you feeling? I am coming off of an amazing night's sleep. I literally put myself to bed last night at around 8:30. I chuckled to myself as I was tucking myself in because it was a Saturday night and I was going to bed at 8:30. And I was like, I'm actually really, really happy about this. And I was reminded when I woke up this morning how important sleep is. Goodness, this is not anything new, but it's so funny how we as adults kind of turn into toddlers. We forget that that sleep is so important. And man, did I need it. I'm really excited to chat with you about this topic today. This conversation I think is so important. It's a little, I feel like, uncomfortable conversation to be having, but I think it's really, really important. I was reminded of this experience that I had just a few months back, and it was sort of bubbling back up to the top, and I was feeling some triggers coming to the top. And I was like, I know I'm not the only one. And this is something that you would benefit from. So what I want to talk about is what happens when you have a mentor or you've hired a coach and you feel very disappointed by them. And it could be just a disappointment in the program. It could be a disappointment in finding out that they are just not the person that you thought that they were. What do you do? You see, I think this is really I don't know if it's more prevalent, but I think about this. I think female mentors and coaches can be the most powerful force for good. But what happens when things go wrong? And with the rise of online businesses, online coaches, and mentorship happening, I feel this is something it's a continuous evolution of how we, as the person who is hiring a coach or a mentor and investing our time and our money, how we go about it. Let me first and foremost say, I feel that there's always learning experiences to be had in every situation, every investment, from a coach, from a mentor. So even if things don't turn out the way that you had hoped, you had envisioned, it didn't meet your expectations, is really finding a way that you can turn the experience into any kind of a valuable lesson for you. And there is always something there for you to learn, right? I think that every time it's whatever you get from it is absolutely perfect, which can sting a little when you've invested a lot. Being promised a certain outcome when a coach or a mentor has presented themselves in a certain light of having certain core values, and then it turns out that they don't actually uphold those core values. But I would say even in those situations, what is really the thing for us to see is there's lessons of how we, as we grow into those new levels in our life, in our business, you know that that's a way that you would never want to behave, to run your business. A lot of times the things that really trigger us are mirrors for us to say, you know what, I've just learned how I don't want to do things. I've learned the level of integrity that I want to hold myself to. And that's really all that we can do as human beings, right? Is to know exactly how you want to show up, how you want to be perceived, and how you want your clients to feel, and going from that place. And it, of course, can be absolutely devastating to find out that you have put your trust, your time, your money into someone, only to find out that the mask that they were wearing was, or that's exactly what it was. It was a mask that they were wearing. I have a question for you. Have you joined the Super Expander free mentorship community? If not, what are you waiting for? Stop what you're doing right now and text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. Text the word mentor to 202-918-3235. I send out weekly tips and inspiration to help you grow your business, to step into your wealthiest, most highest self, to harness your full potential and live an exceptional and extraordinary life. And the best part is, it's really me sending those messages. So text me, say hello, and send me your questions. So I would say first and foremost is to, with your head held high, to walk away from the relationship, the container, whatever it is, and with the most integrity that you can possibly have, is to not speak ill of them, right? We want to treat people the way that we want to be treated. And it is a public space, right? And so you just have to move on from it. And then going forward, kind of having a system of, when you look to join another program, another container, work with another coach or mentor, to have a little bit more of a dialed in process of how it is that you are going into this relationship. Because very oftentimes there's something that happens and we like to put the coach or the mentor on a pedestal, which is an inevitable recipe for disaster. When we put someone on a pedestal, it's inevitable that they are going to disappoint us in some way, because at the end of the day, we are all human beings with imperfections. So a couple of things I would say is kind of like reassessing the situation, asking why, whatever happened that disappointed you, that triggered you, that shone a light on the situation of being something you don't want to be a part of anymore. Where can you take ownership in your own life, making sure that we don't take on any of these bad practices and habits, and really making sure that's not something that's already happening in our business, because sometimes it's a mirror for us to see that. And then give grace and move on. And as you move into that next phase of looking for the next mentor or coach, it's asking yourself some questions and not jumping so quickly, potentially, into a relationship or a container, having deep conversations, making sure that you truly do share the same core values, the same priorities, the same long-term goals. And then really looking with a discerning eye if they truly have achieved the goals that you, like the thing that you want to learn from them, right? Because very oftentimes people, you want your mentor to embody fully the things that you want to learn from them, not just project an image of having achieved them. Getting hyper clear on the objectives, the things that you do really want to learn with them, is really an important piece of that, right? And then asking yourself, do you have a coach crush? Do you have a mentor crush? Are you putting them on a pedestal? And really giving yourself some time to check in with that and feel into that. And I believe that really making sure that you're hyper clear in your communication too, like really communicating to the person whom you're hiring what it is that you're looking for, and so that you guys can have an open dialogue, making sure that it's a really good fit for both of you. Because oftentimes we don't have these conversations in ahead of time because we haven't gotten really clear on them. We haven't gotten clear on our objectives, the outcome that we're looking for. So sometimes those disappointments, these triggers that come up, have less to do with the mentor or the coach. It has a lot of times to do with our own communication and expectations going in. So if you're clear on them, you communicate them, it will save so much. And of course, if it turns out that the person that you hired or you were working with turns out to be out of integrity, those are things that are completely out of your control. And all you can do is just forgive them for not being the person that you had thought they were, and forgive yourself for making, I guess, a mistake of putting your trust into someone that it wasn't aligned with. And just know that you have no idea what battle they're fighting. You have no idea what journey they are on, and take from that experience and learn from it and allow it to expand and grow create growth for you. It's the best possible gift when we receive these sort of messages. So if you can take these disappointments and really turn them into a learning lesson, then it was worth every minute, every dollar, all of the things. So if this happens to be something that you have experienced or you are going through, I hope that this offered you just a little bit of solace, a little bit of support on how to move through it, how you can not feel like you were burned and be so hesitant to work with someone else, because it truly is how we learn is we learn from others, and by investing in ourselves and in learning, right? So know that no investment, no matter what happened, was ever a bad investment, because you definitely learned something from it. If you like what you heard, stop, drop, and leave a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And as always, sharing is caring, so snap a pic and share this episode with another super expander.